Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And some room to roam now. Oh, now Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Past the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there on the first play of the game. Give him 58 yards on the ground. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped into the Redskins. How did they do? A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field. Now you've turned it over, and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Jalen Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. He'll drop to throw. Looking long for his tight end read. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing, Prescott. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. 20! Touchdown, Cowboys! Jarvis Landry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath a short pass like that? But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
Now here's Johnson. a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Leopard! They'll look to throw. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Sean Lee in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And out now come the Cowboys. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, Elliott. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34. Here. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Prescott from the gun. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll look to throw, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Prescott now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. This is fielded at the 27. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. The give is to Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A give to Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. And down to the 16-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Looking to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
10th carry now for Elliott. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films. They came up with a really good plan.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. And the Cowboys are in the end zone for the touchdown.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. It's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Hey, we got three down.
They'll run it here with Pirine, and he'll get this one up to the 26. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. So out now come the Redskins. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Out of the gun now on third down. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Charles Tapper in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll look to throw here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know, that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On the counter, Elliott. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go, get out, get out.
They go fullback this time. Rod Smith looking for an opening. Not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. After the penalty, it's Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big run that time by Elliott. 46 yards on the ground. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He's going to get it running right. And it's a fumble. And I think the offense got it back. They did. Inside the 10-yard line, they avoid disaster. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
it is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
This has not been a banner game for the defense, not in any shape or form, but I love what they're doing right now. My admiration for them really is jumping up. What a great stand defensively, trying their best to keep them out of the end zone.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Redskins on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. On play action, they'll throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He'll return it from the 6. Oh, he nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Again, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Drops it underneath to Elliott, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They're going to look to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Looking left side, and it's complete. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Prescott to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Here we go, 46. 46.
A second down throw for Prescott. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing?
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Here comes Johnson on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Elliott. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Richardson. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And the kick is good, so they avoid the shutout, but still a tough one to swallow here. They only post 3 points, and this game is over. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Dallas, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.